Hello Standard 8, welcome to English class by Mamta Shetty. Today's topic is 2.3 The Worm from the unit 2. So we are going to cover up this whole topic, warming up, the worm and then the workshop. So let us start with the warming up. Yes, 2.3 The Worm. First question. Worms plays a very important role in maintaining ecological balance. They are friends of farmers. So you have to discuss the significance of worm in the above two rows, right? So some of the points which is you can take into a discussion there. They are burrowing animals who help in aerating the soil, yes, digging the soil, mixing the soil. This helps the farmer in de-weeding the soil and getting rid of harmful organism and pests that live in the soil. They scavenge the dead remains of plants and animal and help in the process of decomposition. As a result, they compromise natural waste. As they are decomposer, they return back the nutrients taken by the higher animals and plants to the environment and help in settling into the motion, the working of various natural cycles in the nature. These are the few points. You can add up more according to your wish. Now you have to write down what these flies or these insects small are used for. Dragonflies, spider, ants, honeybees, earthworms. They eat up flying insects like mosquito and spider. Then spider help to protect the people's home, yard, garden from irritating insect. Ant, they turn up the soil due to burrowing, mix up, help in decomposition of plants and animals. Honeybee, they pollinate flowers and they transform into fruits. Earthworm, increase the soil productivity by burrowing activity. So these are all the tiny creatures, or you can say insects, little insects in nature. Now question number 3 can also be your teachers, right? You can get a good, you can say a moral from these little creatures. So what do you learn? From B, we learn to have a teamwork, perfection, selflessness, and we learn to be brave, selfless, ignore little distraction, share the knowledge, adapt to our surroundings. Spider, what do we learn? We learn to be a perseverer, believe in ourselves, create, build it again if necessary, not seek approval from others in every step we take. Caterpillars, we learn that the beauty comes after hardships, to embrace changes. We should work sincerely and never harm others. So these are the small insect, right? So from this you come to know that small insects are also very important. The fourth question, breeding worms to use them convert organic waste into fertilizer is called a vermiculture or vermicomposting, right? So you have to find more about this vermiculture. Yes, this is expected that you can do the attempt the activity of your own. Okay, so now we are going for the warming up. But before we what has happened? Let me see. We'll go for the warming. So now we finish the warming up. Now we go for the poem. Right? 2.3 The Worm. So now what is this poem? The Worm. The poet is Thomas Gisborne. Who was he? He was an English American Anglican priest. Yes, he was a priest. He was a very good footballer. He used to play for Ireland. He also fought for the abolition of the slave trade in England. And he was a priest and well-known poet. Now, the worm. The name of this poem is The Worm. You can see here, see the worm, small worm. Normally when we are walking on a road, on a footpath, on the garden, you find that small creatures are moving around. We don't pay so much attention to them. Even if by mistake, if we crush them, we don't pay any heed. So this poem is about being careful about these such tiny creatures. So we'll start with the poem. Turn thy hasty foot aside, nor crush the helpless worm. The frame thy scornful looks deride, required a God to form. Yes, so here the poet is saying that don't stem the small creatures, they are helpless worm. You may see them and then you have that dislike look to you, but they are created by a God. Hasty means hurried, die means your, don't touch, don't stem them, scornful, don't hate them, because they are also put to this earth by the Almighty. Yes. So now see the next paragraph. The common Lord of all that move, from whom thy being follow, a portion of his boundless love on that poor worm bestowed. Yes. So what the poet is saying, that the Lord is common for all, big or small. From where you have come to this earth, in the same way this earthworm also is, or the insect or the worm is also put by him in this earth. As the Almighty loves you with the abundant love, same way he has bestowed, he has given this poor worm also the same type of affection. Right? The common Lord, God, whom, from where you have come, same way the God has given love to that poor worm also. Yes, the gift of life is been granted to him by the God. Now the third paragraph. The sun, the moon, the stars he made, to all his creatures free, and spreads over earth the grassy blade for worms as well as thee. Yes, the sun is that, the moon, the stars, he has made all these things, right? And these things he had made not only for human being, he had made for all his creatures. All the creatures are free on this earth. He has spread over the earth the grassy blade. He has given the nature as a gift to all the human beings, even for the animals, even the tiny insects also. So it's not only for us, for worms as well as thee. It is for you also, thee means for you also, and for the worm also. So you can see this abundant, bountiful nature is not only given to human being, but to insects also, small tiny creatures. So now the last one. Let them enjoy their little day, their lovely bliss received. Oh, do not lightly take away the life thou canst not given. Right? So what is saying? As you enjoy your day, let them also enjoy their days. Yes, their lowly bliss received. That it is very simple life. What do? They crawl on the grass, they have the food of the grass, and they keep moving slowly in their own pace. So do not lightly take away. So do not take it in a light way of crushing this animal without paying any attention to their life. The life thou canst not give. If you cannot give a life to them, if you cannot grant a life to them, you don't have a right to take it away very lightly. That means, as you have a right to live in this earth, same way, even the tiniest creature whom you think is not important here has a right to live in this earth. So, this is the poem by Thomas Gisborne. He says us that all the creature created by God, you have to respect them irrespective of their size. We have to have the compassion towards them. Yes? So this is what about the poem. You have to write an appreciation, and there is lot of writing skill in this. The most important thing you will get is that appreciation is very important, and the essay is also very important. So we will not go for the factual question, we will go directly for the workshop. Yes, the two questions are very important in this. You have to read the poem and you have to take out the languages which we use now, but in before the writer used to use an RK words, right? So like for example, thee, what is the meaning of thee? Thee means yours. Being, yes, the modern words for the RK words. Thee means your, being means what you have to in the textbook, it is life. Bestow, you can find gave. Thee means you, thou means you, canst means cannot. These are the old words and now it is a new words. Yes. And one more thing, the second point of this is one of the figure of speech. Now this we don't want, we'll just forward it up. This question is omitted. Yes. So we'll go for the next, that is figure of speech. Yes, see here. This is very important, figure of speech. Here the poet uses a device where he directly addresses someone absent or abstract who is not present in front of you. Such a device is the figure of speech, you will say, that is apostrophe. What? Apostrophe. For example, you are talking to a God. God is present? No. Right? So we'll say that that figure of that line contains a figure of speech known as apostrophe. When an device is directly addressed and that person or that thing is not present, it is absent or it is an abstract, such a device is the figure of speech apostrophe. So you will see the example. Turn thy hasty food aside. Right? So no, who is there? No one is there. He is just saying for every human being. Right now. So this line holds a figure of speech. Which one? Apostrophe. Yes. So now in this way you have to pick the other two lines. So first one is already given. Turn thy hasty food aside. Right? And now see here, this is coming as a, this line can come as a apostrophe because the reader is directly spoken to as if he is front of the poet. Or one more figure of speech is repetition. Why? The word turn is repeated twice. You can see turn. Yes, the word is repeated. So this is the figure of speech. Yes, and the second one, beta, let me see, I'll go for, this is the third one, first one, okay, and then directly third one they have told, and spreads over earth grassy blade. So here this is, one is consonance because the sound R, you can see here, has been repeated. Yes, internal you can say, that's why it is a consonant. But instead of that you use inversion. Why? Because the line is not in a proper order. The sentences, it should be, and spreads the grassy blade over the earth. Yes. So apostrophe also you cannot say, you have learned in this apostrophe also, and in this you can also say inversion is also there. Yes, who is spreading over the earth. Yes. So whichever is, first you remember that apostrophe means you are talking to an abstract, the person who is not present. So here we end this exercise. Remaining is a homework. Thank you.